afternoon. Meteorologist Mike Pringley here, and we're enjoying your company on Weather Impacted Live. Just you and I, and we got about 30 minutes here, and looking out at our beautiful Sunday. Okay, so if you look closely, though, we've got a little, I want to thank Katrino here. Nice look there, Katrino. A hazy, smoky look. In fact, if you go back to that, we're taking a look at really some interesting weather out there here today because we had Jasmine in the studio. She's saying, Mike, well, I'm coughing and I'm sneezing. Is it partly from the smoke? I said, well, it's a combination of factors. We got some smoky air. We've got high pollen counts and some lower air quality around the area, and that's because of, peak fire season across the First Coast. So this happens so often in April, although this April may be a little more active than we normally see, and we've, of course, have been monitoring some wildfires in Nassau County, new wildfire in Putnam County, now this morning in Clinch County. So with that westerly wind today, we're going to have that smoky feel, a smoky sunshine, a hazy, smoky sun was the forecast today. Temperatures not quite as warm. We'll see some increasing clouds this afternoon, but still very warm, breezy, mid to upper 80s. And it's that breeze that is not good news, even though it'll make us feel a little better today. That can whip up more wildfires. So let's talk. All right, let's take a look at what that wind's doing today. Well, we know today we've got the front still moving through. That probably won't arrive until this afternoon. So we're still talking some very warm weather. And the forecast was for record heat, not near record heat. You see that, not near this, that. We said we're going to hit some records, and here it is verifying that. Craigfield, 90 degrees, officially on our Saturday, 89, the old record back in 2018. In Gainesville, the kids are studying hard. I checked on Lauren, my daughter, and she's focused. Wanted to go to a baseball game there in Gainesville. I said, well, you got some exams coming up, don't you? So she really focusing on those exams. And for the kids in Gainesville, hopefully they found a nice air-conditioned spot yesterday. And even today it's very warm. 92, the new record in Gainesville. And that broke the old record set almost 100 years ago. Isn't that crazy? 91 degrees. So, well, we got the record heat for sure. And unfortunately, record heat, record drought, all right, the driest April time period. If you go from our April time period and scoot back to March, it's the driest period we've had since the 1800s. So a bad combination of things: heat, record droughts, record heat, and now some breezy conditions out there. But yeah, we'll get to that fire weather. But first of all, I have to give my shout out to you. First of all, for all the folks out at UNF today at the Aquathon. And then yesterday, the Run to the Sun 5K. So on Good Morning Jacksonville all week long, we were saying, come on, runners, let's get some training in. You're going to look good out there in Orange Park. And there it is right there on River Road. So the Pringley Runner Index coming alive there on your screen. I want to thank Jason Washington. Wow, great guy, great runner. I think he broke 8 minutes. Now, for me, I'm happy if I get in the 8s. Yeah, 8, 9 minutes are fine with me. I just enjoy. I take the sights. Usually you see me taking the pictures of the trees and the sky like Jason. Jason did good. He got a picture of the sun. So good job, Jason, there. And as we go into this forecast, if you're going to get some steps in today, I'm looking at my watch right now, and I'm pretty low right now. I'm only in the 2,000 range. So I'm going to get that up to about 12, 13, 14 before the day's over. So if I'm planning my run today or walk or getting them steps in, well, first we got church. We got some church to get in first. I'm going to get out there, looks like a little later on. So you look at that overall index. We said the heat would still be on today. Not the 90s we saw yesterday, but you see the 84, and that's because of the clouds, but still very warm. And my wife noticed this last night. The dew points are much higher, so higher humidity. And for that run, we want to take it easy, okay? If you're going to get out there this afternoon, we drop from a 7 to a 6. This is out of a 10. And then as we get towards 6 p.m., now we're talking. That's my sunset run time. As we get toward evening, that's when I'm going to get back out there. We're back from yellow caution to green, and there will be a nice breeze. Temperatures back into the 70s. So overall, yeah, inspirational you are to me, and hopefully I inspire you to get out there and get some steps done. We'll look outside one more time at our beautiful River City. It's a smoky, hazy Sunday. First Coast News temperature of 80 degrees, a dew point of 67. We got those west-southwest winds at 5. All right, so let's take a look at the air quality. We said it's a little lower. Got these little smoke particulates in the atmosphere. And for folks that have respiratory issues and are quite sensitive to that, you might feel it a little bit today. So we're in the yellow range. Now, There's good news. We're not quite in the unhealthy range, but unfortunately, that west-southwest wind it's not doing Brunswick any good. I'm getting some new information in that if you're in Georgia, once we get across I-10, and once you get up into areas, especially of Glenn County, Brunswick, scooting over to areas of Brantley, Ware County, there's some lower air quality up that way where it could be unhealthy for some groups. So you see the yellow, moderate range, but again, once you get up toward areas of Georgia, moderate to unhealthy at times. So if we could expand that map, it would show a little bit of orange, especially a little bit farther to north. Now here's the smoke forecast. Models, they do pretty well. I've been working on this map so you can see it clearly, and it's kind of tough to see. It really is. So I put in smoke where I have it, and I tried to outline it. So you see the little outline areas? Here, let me see. I'm going to draw with you. Here we go. So really the thickest smoke plumes today, coming right like that. And we'll go back up like this right around the front and then come up back around. All right, so that does pretty good. Now, let's put this into motion. I'm going to give you an idea at home if you can't see it of where it exactly is. So the smoke, if anything today, will increase across the first coast. We're already seeing those smoky skies out there. There's 11 a.m. All right, let's keep it moving. And there it is, really peaking this afternoon. So I'm going to outline the smoke once again. And the thickest smoke right out ahead of and along the front. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so you go right there. And then boom, 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 boom. There's the smoke. So today, that's the area to watch for that haze, lower air quality. And then what we're going to watch is a wind pickup here. So we're really starting to see that wind out to the west and northwest. This is going to turn to a northwest wind. And that will start to clear out some of the smoke as we head into this evening. So if you're sensitive to it, you may notice the difference, okay? And later on this evening, wind picks up, and then we go into overnight. Now, tomorrow, with that northwest wind, that's going to switch off to the northeast, and that will keep us smoke-free here in Jacksonville. So that's good. A lot of mixing here. Now, if you're going down into areas of central Florida, Orlando, still a smoky start, it looks like in the morning, waiting for that front to clear. And as it does so, it will clear as we head through the day tomorrow. So pretty interesting, getting out the smoke forecast. Yeah, I don't show this, but maybe once or twice a year. So, yeah, that tells you what we're dealing with in this forecast. Now, we look outside, we're waiting on some mixing, right? We need the air to be stirred up. We got to mix some of the smoke and haze out. And where you see the green, that's where the wind is really picking up today. So it won't get here until later on. So we got 81 Jacksonville, 77 Waycross. Where you see the green, that's 60s. You get up toward Valdosta, 79 just north. So we get toward Vidalia onions, Vidalia onion land. There it is. You see the blues. That's where the wind's really picking up. And that's the front we're watching. So right now we're just kind of stagnant. We just kind of have all this haze around and smoke. And what we're going to watch this afternoon, though, is where that wind picks up. If you're traveling, if you're a Sunday traveler heading west along I-10, we are going to see a red flag warning. That means a critical fire risk. That means wildfires likely or imminent. That's not good. So today between 2 and 8 o'clock, and then turning windy and drier. Now, fire weather watches for our area, notice really I-95 to the west, including Clay County, Duval, Nassau, and then up toward Glenn and Camden counties. Now, that would be tomorrow. That's the key. So fire weather watch means we're just watching things carefully, but conditions are going to be likely favorable for the red flag warning for our area starting tomorrow between 1 p.m. and 9 p.m. as we turn windy and drier. So some of that wind I'm showing you back to the west, once that arrives tomorrow, that's when we're going to start to see things go downhill as far as our fire weather, and that means fires will be imminent. So today you can really pick out the critical to high range, well to the northwest, a little higher toward Waycross. Don't let your guard down, please. It's just bone dry out there. It's crispy. And then as you see as we go through the afternoon, now tomorrow, those are some red color. That's very red, isn't it? We got humidity dropping to 23% around Metro Jacks. Yeah, the Weather Service, they didn't put the fire risk all the way to the beach, but this is for all of us. We got to really keep our guard up. And of course, the highest risk where the red flag warnings will be I-95 to the west, but that's pretty serious there. High to critical range as we head into our Monday. So when you hear red flag warning, it's here's the criteria meteorologists use. You got that relative humidity below 35%, wind speeds greater than 15, and then a high energy release component, and that's caused by our record drought that we've been talking about. So let's put it into motion here. One thing we're not seeing this afternoon, those isolated showers, boy, not good, is it? I'll see if I can back it up a little bit. At this point, it's going to be tough. I mean, just a lonely shower. And there's 3 o'clock as that front just starts to move into Metro Jacks. There's the highs, mainly low to mid 80s. Lake City, 80. There's a little green. And then I see a little green, though, a little splotch of green there up toward Mayport. All right. But it's just not gonna amount to much. And there it is. You have to look quickly to find any of those isolated showers. So if you see rain today, you'll be one of the lucky ones, is what I've been saying. And here's this evening. Look at that wind, northeast at 17. Bye-bye smoke. All right, we'll be able to breathe again, but we're not going to be breathing easy or taking it easy when it comes to the fire risk. That means once that wind kicks up, feeling better, breathing better, but not looking better for the fire risk. And look at those temperatures this evening. I'll be out on the porch, mid to upper 60s. And then tomorrow, hey, I'll be with you at Good Morning Jacksonville. We're going to be rocking out a great Monday motivation. Nice refreshing start of 60. Look at the 50s. There are going to be some 40s, no doubt about it. Some of those cooler inland locations. But overall, I'm going to be getting you ready for a great day on Good Morning Jacksonville. But it does include, look at that wind, northeast at 16, gusting to 25. So if you look at that bar up there, that's what we're going to be watching. So that would mean a red flag warning will be likely issued with those temperatures mid to upper 70s. And right around 70, 72 at the beaches, including St. Augustine. So as we wrap up this first segment here, we'll be back. We're going to take a look at our forecast rainfall. We're going to go 7 days, 10 days out, 2 months out. We're going to find the rain before the end of the show. All right, so something to stay tuned for. I'll be right back.
That is the Protector.
This truck is a beast.
It's got all the tools on it. I love how big the tires are.
And this is going to be able to show you the weather around the First Coast like you've never seen it before.
The Protector really is going to help protect the community.
So you can see what it looks like on the ground. And that allows folks to really take action and do something about it.
And it gives us that edge in continuing to be the most accurate weather team.
Sponsored by HananiahAutos.com.
I'm Keitha Nelson, Good Morning Jacksonville anchor and mom of twins, Journey and Trey. I'm on your side, getting you out the door and off to a great start. Make the move to Good Morning Jacksonville on First Coast News. Weekdays from 4:30 to 9, anywhere you watch.
First Coast Living Live.
Bringing you closer to the tastiest food.
The best shopping.
And family fun. Woo!
Jordan Wilkerson and David Benfield. First Coast Living Live. Weekdays at 11 a.m. only on NBC 12.
We have new details about a heavy police presence in Jacksonville Beach.
Driver fired gunshots along the interstate today, prompting a police chase.
Stream extended coverage on First Coast News Plus.
The First Coast News weather team is here to deliver your most accurate forecast with weather impact alerts to warn you about severe weather and up-to-the-minute information on First Coast News Plus.
The wave of moisture rolls its way on in here.
Our team is the most equipped and experienced to help you prepare and keep you safe.
The First Coast News weather team is always on your side. Stream extended coverage on First Coast News Plus.
My mission is to help you get to where you're going safely. Whether it's helping you beat the backup on 95 or navigating the slowdown on JTB, we've got you covered. Make the move to Good Morning Jacksonville on First Coast News. Weekdays live from 4:30 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Welcome back to Weather Impact Live. In fact, Katrina and I have been watching those smoky, hazy skies out there. That's related to the wildfires out there, especially some of the newer ones in Putnam County, Nassau County, and to our west. So basically, we've got a westerly wind today. And what we've been talking about is that wind's going to kick up and turn to the east and northeast with a front by later today, and especially tonight and tomorrow. But the problem is this. Yeah, we're not going to get the rain. There's little splotchy areas of green, a hit or miss shower. I called it a lonely shower this morning, so less than 1/100 of an inch for most of us. Let me know if you see any rain, some unusual objects in the sky. Basically, we get these fronts this time of year, and many times they pick up Gulf moisture, but we're not going to be able to pick up that moisture with a dry west to northwest flow, especially over the drought-stricken southeast. So That's what we're missing here. We're not seeing the typical frontal setup. And then, yeah, we're excited that we'll clear some of the smoke out of the area, help the air quality tomorrow, but not excited about this. Really is our highest fire danger of the season coming in Monday and likely Tuesday as well. Surprised we haven't had any fire weather watches for Tuesday. You look at those dew points, still breezy out there. Tuesday will be a problem. And then as we go through the week, we'll slowly ease back a little bit on the fire danger, but it's going to be there. It's here to stay as we have hit the peak of our fire season in April. And as I've been telling folks, I think we're going to have to wait till that rainy season really kicks in as we head into later May and June. Although the pattern a little more ripe for at least some rain, unlike the front coming through today, which is just moisture star. But you look at the 7-day forecast, there it is. The best I could do was a 20% chance of a shower. There's those winds whipping up some trouble with the fire weather, and then slowly elevating those temperatures in the 80s once again next week. Next weekend, models have been pretty consistent, saying as we finish out April into May, at least maybe we could get some better chances of rain in the area. So we'll start to see maybe an increase by next Saturday. That's next Saturday. Let's not get too excited. That's a long way off. Big thing you're hearing about in the country, we've got frost again. I mean, what a winter it's been. Missouri, there's St. Louis as high as 66, 48 in Chicago. James and Abby got to go to the Cubs game yesterday. It was freezing up there. I mean, wind chills in the 30s. You know what? I'll take our weather. We say we're blessed to live here. Yes, we are. Look at D.C., 59. Folks still are complaining about what they dealt with this winter, and you compare that to 86. And then we take a look at Monday. Look who's sitting pretty. There we are, 75. All right, and then we got just only 40s and 50s in the Northeast. So watching the pattern change as we start the week with the cooler, and then we're going to start to bounce back as we head into mid to late week. So today's highs, if you're just joining us, watching that elevated fire risk once again today to high, especially inland where the wind kicks up. Notice we got 83 Sawgrass, good pickleball weather, 83 towards St. Augustine. Fernandina, we're at a great time yesterday, lots of fun, 83 degrees. Then you go back toward McClenny, Lake City, mainly in the low to mid 80s. Look at Waycross, 79. There's that cold front coming our way. Beach weather, we said the best beach time today would be earlier, and the clouds will thicken as the afternoon goes on. So if you're about to head out the door, I'm about to head out the door with you here. I'm thinking we're getting our plans in. It's just that we're going to have some clouds at the beach. And earlier this morning, if you joined us in Good Morning Jacksonville, the computer had 20% chance of a shower. And right now, it's looking like less than a 10% chance. Now, water temperature, I'm excited about that. 72 with those highs in the low 80s. Surf just under 2 feet with a 6-second wave period. And we got that low tide coming in at 4:05 this afternoon. Just keep in mind, a cloudy day this time of year, doesn't matter. You need sunscreen. That UV index is 8, which is very high, moderate rip current, so stay close to the lifeguard. Tonight, once that front moves through, we see the breeze pick up, as I said. All right, 68 degrees at 8 o'clock, looking good for the grill out plans. And just be careful. No open burning, just a reminder. What's interesting about this fire risk we've been talking about, really the biggest thing we've seen has been folks that are burning, and they don't realize, oh, hey, there's burn bans. So no burning whatsoever, okay? Just a reminder there. 60 for Fernandina, and maybe you can remind your neighbors or friends, those that aren't paying attention to the news. That would be good as well, because as that wind picks up, it's going to get pretty serious around the area. Look at the 40s toward Waycross for those now. Tomorrow's the day. Fire danger critical. We haven't said that, right? This is our highest fire danger of the season. Lunchtime temperature is 72, but the big story will be the fire risk. Fernandina, Sawgrass, there's low 70s. We could still maybe top out near 80, well inland toward McClenny. And the problem is, as the front moves through, you're not seeing much rain with it. And then that windy weather caused by high pressure building in from the north, front to the south, and we're squeezed right between the two pressure systems. So that'll bring in the wind, and that could stir up the trouble starting tomorrow and especially Tuesday. And that high pressure, this is the same high pressure bringing frost, right, to the north and northeast. It's all related. So it has a lot of dry, modified polar air. We do not want a dry polar air with the extreme and record-breaking drought here that we've seen since March. So just a bad combination of things, and it's going to be a team effort. We remind each other to please remind each other not to burn. Now, as we take a look at the expected rainfall, we've been looking long and hard. We said the models have been consistent. really the last couple weeks with maybe a better chance of rain toward the end of April, and we're getting there. But notice the expected rainfall over the next 5 days, mainly south. You see a little bit of sliver of green toward Orlando by Thursday. But as we go to the next 10 days, come on, nature. All right, starting to see a little bit of life. And we'll take a closer look at that. And I'm going to take you not just 10 days, but 2-3 months down the road, and we'll see if we can get out of this drought here together. We'll be right back after this.
That is the Protector.
This truck is a beast.
It's got all the tools on it. I love how big the tires are.
And this is going to be able to show you the weather around the First Coast like you've never seen it before.
The Protector really is going to help protect the community.
So you can see what it looks like on the ground. And that allows folks to really take action and do something about it.
And it gives us that edge in continuing to be the most accurate weather team.
Sponsored by HananiahAutos.com.
I'm Keitha Nelson. Good morning, Jacksonville anchor and mom of twins, Journey and Trey. I'm on your side, getting you out the door and off to a great start. Make the move to Good Morning Jacksonville on First Coast News. Weekdays from 4:30 to 9, anywhere you watch.
First Coast Living Live.
Bringing you closer to the tastiest food.
The best shopping.
And family fun.
Jordan Wilkerson and David Benfield. First Coast Living, live. Weekdays at 11 a.m. only on NBC 12.
We have new details about a heavy police presence in Jacksonville Beach.
Driver fired gunshots along the interstate today, prompting a police chase.
Stream extended coverage on First Coast News Plus.
You look marvelous here on this Sunday, 11:23 now, streaming live. And, we've been talking about the smoke, the haze, the high fire risk, and the highest fire danger of the season on the way, especially tomorrow, Monday, and maybe even Tuesday. So that's what we've been preparing folks for. Today, very warm, breezy afternoon developing back into the middle 80s for many of us, but it's about the rain. That's the big question. Where's the rain? I'm checking out the grocery store. This is all people want to know. I said, well, we're still in our dry season. It's typically dry this time of year. This is not unusual. It's just compounded by the fact that we had a very slow hurricane season. And I think most of us, if we could choose the active hurricane season or slow one versus drought, we would always take the drought. But with that said, it's a team effort, reminding neighbors, friends, no open sparks. Any spark can cause a fire, no burning. And that's how we're going to have to get through this fire season this year. It's going to be more active than normal because of that drought. So blame the slow hurricane season, but this pattern is changing, okay? I think as we go into our rainy season, a lot of hope on the board in the Weather Center. Things will change. In fact, look at April 27th through May 3rd. This has been very consistent on our weather models for quite some time. Better chances in 2 weeks. So I put 2 weeks. You know what? Better chances in less than 2 weeks. There you go. Even though next week looks dry, and I'm going to get to that 10-day forecast, we are talking about by next weekend, and as we finish out April into May, a much more potent pattern across the area in the southeast. And we're watching maybe a stronger plume of a subtropical jet stream. We've been watching, of course, this week an amazing super typhoon, okay, that was out toward Guam and Saipan, and it was just an amazing watch. And a lot of times you can get a super typhoon in the Pacific and it shakes up the weather pattern farther east. Now it takes about 7 to 10 days, and sure enough, there's the change we've been waiting for. Lots of green painted on the map. This map I'm going to take a closer look at. This is through June. The big thing to make out is, see the brown? That's the drought. A lot of the long-range models as we head into, I showed you late April into May, as we go into May into June, have us back closer to where we should be. So like getting more of our typical thunderstorms, more of our rain, and much more active. It's much more active for all across the board. I'll actually be able to show radar again, right? So great news there. And as we look at the 10-day forecast, again, things getting a little more active the later we go. So there's next weekend, we'll watch it. Some models say it could be a lot higher than 10% chance Monday, Tuesday. And overall this week, it's going to be a great week. We just have to watch the fire risk. 86 today. We got mainly 70s to start and then back into the 80s, 80-degree weather as we head into midweek. So overall, very excited here on Weather Impact Live that we are looking good in long range, but in the short range, it's going to be a tough rest of April and as we go into May to get out of this drought and this fire season. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to take one more peek here. A lot of folks saying it's smoky out there. And Katrina, if you want, throw up a tower cam here. And what we're going to look at here, we're going to look at that haze and the smoke and see if we can clear some of this out. There we go. There it is. Okay, so we got just a short time frame here. Smoky, hazy Sunday here on Weather Impact Live. That's from all the wildfires out there. We're not burning. We're reminding friends and neighbors there's a burn ban. No sparks. Don't even park on dry grass. Oh, cigarettes, forget about it. All right, forget the smoking, and make sure those cigarette butts are disposed of in the proper area. Now, as we look at the rest of the afternoon, we're going to top out in the mid-80s, and then we're going to start to watch that front come in this afternoon. And by tomorrow, we should see some improving visibility, but unfortunately, much tougher fire conditions as likely a red flag warning will be issued. So keep checking back with us. I'm going to get some more water. I got my sports drink here, and we are going to check back with you here through the afternoon. And I'll, of course, see you first thing tomorrow starting at 4:29 on Good Morning Jacksonville. Take care, my friend.